Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the No Podcast, episode 1. I'm with Alex, and my name is X.
I'm Alex. It's a great first episode. It's a great day.
Yep.
Looking forward to starting this up.
Yep.
How you doing today?
I'm doing alright, mate. How are you doing?
So when did you turn British, bro?
I don't know, man. About 3 seconds ago.
That's Australian, dog.
Anyways, guys, today we're going to be talking about love, right? That's what you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, I don't want to make this like a therapy session, but maybe we can talk about experiences, past experiences, or like new experiences, or maybe stuff that we've seen, and it'll be able to help other people that are listening go through them, or at least see like a different point of view to know that they're not alone.
So a therapy session.
Okay, yeah, I guess
Okay,
it could be like a therapy session type episode, but
sure.
Obviously not all the episodes are gonna be like this.
Nah.
But we'll have some good times.
Yep.
We gotta mention some stuff, get some stuff out of the water, I guess, and let's just get into it, no?
Alright, yeah. So what do you want to start with? Just throw it out.
Well,
there.
let's just start with our past experiences.
With love.
So
right?
since we're getting to know each other, well, not you and me, but us and the followers, we're getting to know each other. I'll tell you guys a little bit about myself and my past experiences. I had a girl most recently, and we ended things off because it got toxic. Almost every relationship either gets toxic or they get over that, which is really a nice thing because it's a beautiful thing once you get past that toxic stage, because it feels like they're the person forever. That's how I felt, but some things just weren't meant to last forever. And let me tell you a little bit about that experience. So this girl, right, she has an ex, and like that's always messed with me. Like, she had an ex, like a guy before me, and like that shouldn't really matter because obviously she's with me now. Well, not right now, but like she was with me at that moment. So I'm not gonna lie, I made up a big lie, a pretty big lie, and I'm sure you kind of knew.
I did.
But everybody who knew me already knew. Like, it was about a girl that we'll just call her, we'll just say her first letter. We'll just say C.
C. Alright.
Her name was C, I guess. Okay, we'll just say that.
C.
And the girl that I was with had an ex, right? So, how do I say this? The last girlfriend I had was like 8th grade, like for 3 days, and her name started with an A. But I told this new girl that I had a girlfriend before her, so that she wouldn't feel guilty about having an ex. Just so like it wouldn't be like, because I know how some girls are, like you would just feel guilty that like, oh, she had a guy before me and like she's my first love pretty much. So I made up having a C in the story. Like, obviously we talked, we talked, like we all know that I talked to that girl, but we never dated. I never said I love you or anything, and it was all just because I didn't want that girl to feel guilty knowing that she had an ex. And like, it might have been selfish or unselfish, but I did it just so that she could feel like maybe we weren't each other's first love, but we were gonna be the last loves, and she wouldn't carry that guilt of like, dang, like I had somebody before him, and I'm so special to him, but like I've had somebody before him. So like, it was with good intentions, and like she still doesn't know to this day. She still thinks that like I had that ex too, which honestly was better off for me. Like, but the thing is that I still saw that girl around everywhere. So like, we argued because like that girl was everywhere that I was. The ex was everywhere.
C.
Yeah, the C girl was everywhere that I went, and her cousins.
She's stalking you?
I don't know. It might just be coincidence, but we argued because she thought that she was my ex, but she wasn't my ex. Like, obviously, maybe she has feelings or something, and like I would see her everywhere, and like there's no excuse for that, but like that wasn't my fault. But that girl really thought that she was my ex, and like that was a pretty big lie that I made up, but it was with good intentions. and I
Right.
probably won't ever tell her that that's not the truth.
Until she sees this podcast.
Hopefully she don't, or maybe if she does, she'll understand why I did some of the stuff that I did. But let's hear some about you.
All right, so I met this girl in the grocery store, and you know, she's just like buying hot bunnies or whatever. And then I went up to her and I was like, you know what? Sure, why not? I'm feeling confident today. I went up to her and asked for a snap. We're gonna call her Stacy. And so Stacy gave me her snap, and so ever since then we just been talking like every day for like 24 hours. Like we'd call every day, FaceTime every day, and we hit it off really good. And so, you know, it's like the falling in love fast kind of thing.
Yeah.
And not like taking it slow. Even though I was like, from my past experiences, you know, my last ex, I fell for it fast, not knowing I was a rebound, you know, and then ended up getting cheated on. Which rebound relationships are dumb, straight out dumb.
Yeah, but I think with rebounds, they pretty much just use somebody else. The way that they got you is pretty much in the relationship. Like
it's because they're lonely and they miss the fact that their ex is now gone, and so they either make the ex jealous that they're with a new partner, or just to like get rid of that lonely feeling.
That's what I never understood. Like if I broke up with a girl per se, and I was like looking for a rebound, like if I was that girl, I wouldn't take me back knowing that like somebody else got to see what like is theirs pretty much. Well, not at that moment, but like if that happened to me with a girl, like if they were with somebody else like at that moment and like they had their body the way I did, I wouldn't take them back, because like that was special, and like you just cut off that tie once you went with somebody else. Like the feelings die once I see you with somebody else. Yeah,
and that's like the reason why mainly rebound relationships even exist, because you cut off ties with like you thought was a really great person. Either I don't know the situation you guys like either ended on, but for mine, the ex that I was in a rebound relationship with cut off ties with her ex over like a huge stupid argument, which is kind of ironic, which I'm going to tell you about here in a minute. But back to Stacy. So we've been talking nonstop. We had a couple fights, and you know, there was 2 times I broke her trust on accident, of course. The first one I like was actually sharing my feelings and how like we were talking about exes, right? Which you should never talk about exes in a relationship, I think, or even like, well, you can talk about exes, but don't like tell them how you feel about your exes. Just be like, yeah, she was my ex, and that's about it. She did this and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Don't be like, oh, like I felt super like bad over the fact that this one part that she did or blah blah blah. You know?
Yeah, because that means that you're still thinking about your ex.
Which is like sometimes not the case. Like with me, what's the thing with me with exes is that I never go back to them, which is also ironic, but I'll get to that in a minute. But Stacy and I were talking about exes, and I accidentally told her like, or she said something along the lines of what my ex said like before. I think it was what was it? She said like a 30-day free trial, which was like we were like talking about what counts as a relationship, which to us we both agreed that more than a month is a relationship, and below a month is like a 30-day free trial. I was like, oh, that's what my ex said. And then she kind of got mad at the fact that I said that, and she totally like thought I was comparing her to my ex.
Yeah, I can get where she's coming from.
Yeah, me
like,
too.
Even when you like mention something like, "Oh, that's what my ex said," "Oh, my ex this, my ex that," like, no, my ex nothing should be coming out of your mouth when you're like with a new person. And I know it might be like the best intentions when you're trying to say like, "Oh, I promise you're better," like, but like, it should never even be a comparison. Like, you know that girl's better, and like I feel like you bringing her up like at all. Like ex means that you're still thinking about her, which means like something to her. Like I don't know the girl or anything about that, but I can see where she's coming from, because like just think about it from like in relationships, someone told me, think about it in your partner's shoes. Like, would I like it if she said this to me and stuff like that? Like I know for a fact I wouldn't like it if like a girl I was talking to was like, oh yeah, my ex used to go to the gym a lot too. Like,
yeah, it's just so unnecessary.
Yeah, you know? That would break everything off. Like, honestly, like if you're just gonna think back about your ex all the time, then you might as well just go back to him.
Yeah, and I learned that the hard way too, because pretty much what you said, she told me, and going back to like when you said think about the situation in their shoes, which I've been working on as well. Like, I'm like, damn, you know what? I should probably see their side of the story. And if she said that to me, I would probably be like, you know what? That's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, but the thing about you is like, you're happy. You maybe not as happy as you were when you were with that girl, like the recent one.
Yeah.
But you're happier, right? And like, look who's trying to get back, and you're not folding at all because you're head over heels for this one new girl. And look who's trying to get back. Like, everything always comes back. Like,
it's been a whole year since that, and she's like, before that, we're gonna call this girl D. So D, she texted me saying like, oh, you're worthless, oh, like, you're so immature, like, whatever, I hope your YouTube career takes a plunge or whatever. I'm like, damn, where is this coming from? And then so I argued with her, and then she's saying like, yeah, I only used you to get with my ex and it worked. I'm like, good for you, I guess. And then I don't know, 3 months ago, no, 6 months ago, she texted me saying like how she's sorry. It's very immature of her to say that, and she's like, I hope you can forgive me, dude. And I just did not respond. I blocked her. And you know that feature on Instagram where you like block someone and there's an option where you could like block any other account?
Yeah.
With, somehow she still managed to follow me, like, I don't know, was it a week ago? Yeah. Like, she followed me a week ago, and I think she's like low-key stalking me because she's like looking at all my stories. She like liked all my posts and stuff.
Yeah, but like, just to put a little bit of assurance on your new girl,
right?
Like, knowing you, and like, homies are homies. Like, if you were like giving any entertainment to any other females when you had a girl, like, that's between us, right? Like, we're homies. But like, I just want to say it loud and clear, like, that's not true. Like, you're a stand-up guy. Like, any girls that like hit you up, I'm sure you tell her, I'm sure you inform her and stuff like that, because you really are crazy about this girl. Like, I've never met her, so I don't know how she is, but like, obviously something she does got you crazy about her, and like, she treats you right and you treat her right. Like, obviously arguments are gonna happen. That's just relationships. Like, not everything your partner does is perfect, and like, couples break because they fail to realize that like, not everyone's perfect. Like, no matter how much times I said my ex was perfect, no matter how many times I was like, no, you're perfect, trust me. Like, I know she's not perfect, and she knows I'm not perfect, but her and I were like so surrounded with the fact that like, oh, we're gonna have like a perfect relationship and stuff like that. So then when we like faced obstacles, and she like went to a second party, not a guy or anything, just her sister, it kind of like broke me. And I told you about that, like, involving a third person in a two-person relationship is like a killer, you know what I mean? Because like, if you're getting insulted by somebody who like is gonna be your sister-in-law and stuff like that, like what you'd hope would be your sister-in-law, like, that's just like making you feel like a shitty person. Like, and like, the thing is with like me, and I know you, sometimes like, we won't ever ask for help. Like, you won't ever catch me like, oh, mom, like, I don't feel good, I don't feel all right, like, like, I'm starting to feel the depression coming in. Like,
I feel like that's what society is like. Social media constructed that shit to make it so that men don't really need help as much as what we like are actually needing help with.
I feel like a part of us, like, not just us, but like all men in general, like, obviously there probably is some men who ask for help, who have the balls and have the courage, like, to say like, oh, I don't feel good, like, I need someone to talk to. Like, they're the ones with the therapist and stuff like that. Like, and we're here talking about it, so I guess like it could be us a little bit. But
what part of that?
yeah, but like you won't ever like catch me being like, oh mom, I don't feel good. Like, mom, like,
Mom,
can
I
we
need
go
some
get
money.
some
Mom, I need
cream?
some
Yeah.
like ice cream. Yeah, I feel you on that. And that's
It's a bad thing because like
it's a bad habit, I guess.
like it might be a good thing for some parts because I've learned to fight some stuff off by myself. But what happens when the huge battle comes in where you need help? Like, that's when suicide happens and stuff like that. And God forbid, like, any of that happens to anybody.
Yeah.
Really, like, that's a sad topic. And I'm sorry for the people who have had to go through, like, loss and stuff like that. And it's like, once you reach that big battle, if you don't have the balls to ask for help, like, it'll just devour you. Like, and not even just suicide. Like, you could see, like, yourself getting tired out. Like, damn, like, I don't want to wake up. Like, I don't want to go anywhere. Like, obviously you're not dead, but you're dead. You know what I mean?
I feel like we all went through that at some point in our lives. And I feel like men, I guess, or like anyone, technically. So, like, they try to ask for help at that big battle, right? And then they just get instantly shot down. And then ever since then, they're like, why would I ask for help if no one's even gonna like acknowledge the fact that I need help? And so that's where they start to like think they're not even worth, like, their life isn't worth it anymore.
And the worst part is like arguments in relationships, they start off because you express your feelings. Because like, obviously, like, I'll just use myself as an example. Let's say I'm like with a girl, right? And I'm like, dang, like, I'm not feeling happy lately. Like, life just doesn't hit the same anymore. Like, not knowing the girl and like just thinking about it, like, what if she takes that as an insult? Like, oh, I don't make you happy.
Yeah, that people could take shit the complete wrong direction of what you're trying to say.
But like, it's just you expressing your feelings. It's just you saying like, look, I don't feel good.
Yeah, it's just you venting.
You're my partner. Like, can we like hang out or something? But like, before you can get to that asking for help step, you're at that expressing step, because you goes express, get help, and fix the issue. But at that expressing part, she's like, oh, I don't make you happy. I don't make you this, like, or like, oh, I make you angry. I make you depressed. Like, and that's the problem with some relationships, and that's why they end. Because that constant arguing of you just trying to express your feelings, which shouldn't happen, by the way. Like, they should be there for you all the time.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the bad part, because you're over there telling that girl everything, girl or guy. Like, we're just saying it like as a
vaguely.
Yeah, vaguely. You're just asking for help, right? And when you ask for help, you get shot down, like you said. Like, so who's to say that I won't be like, oh, she didn't help me last time, I'm not gonna ask her for help this time? And that's how you do meetups with others, not you, but like third person.
Yeah, like anyone.
Yeah, anyone. Like, that's why cheating happens. But like, not just cheating. Like, cheating should never happen. Like, that's a scumbag move.
No,
but
that's
cheating,
a sin, bro.
Yeah, like, but like, cheating, like, I'm not justifying it at all. Like, that should be punishable. Right?
That should be a law.
Yeah.
Go to jail. Get probed by Jerome in the showers, bro.
Dude.
Nah, not even that would be justice to cheating.
Yeah. But like, that's why it happens. Like, the emotional cheating. They go try to get some help from somebody else, and then worst comes to worst, they're at their lowest. And then they end up cheating, which isn't justified at all. But there's a reason why it would happen. Obviously, it shouldn't happen, but if it did happen, then that's a reason, but it shouldn't be a reason at all. Like, there's no reason to cheat at all. Like, if you're with somebody, you should only have eyes for that one person, and there should only ever be eyes for that one person. Because I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure you're the same way as me. Like, I date to marry.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Yeah.
Like, I date them with the thought of them walking down the aisle to me.
And having
like,
kids and all.
And yeah, house. Having kids, having a future. Like, but there's some people who just date to pass time.
To fill that the hole in their chest of loneliness, or they just do it for fun, which is beyond me. Why would you want to date just for fun?
Yeah,
That's just kind of stupid.
it's pathetic, but
It hurts the other person more than it hurts yourself, and they don't
like
understand
with
that.
rebounds. Like
Yeah,
with rebounds. You use that other person's kind heart. Like you had such a big heart,
Mhm.
like for this girl. Like you were telling me, like, oh, dude, she finally like she loves me for me. Like,
Bro, I was head over heels for that one.
yeah, bro. Like
Just
I
to turn
remember-
out to be a rebound. It was
Yeah, it's
crazy.
it's pathetic because the way you would tell me, like, oh, like we talk all the time. Like, oh, I'm planning to go see her today. Like, I'm so excited.
Mhm.
Like seeing somebody at their all-time high, while that one person, it's like a seesaw.
Mhm.
That one girl, D, was at the bottom of the seesaw,
Right.
and you were at the very top. You felt that you had everything in the world, and what happened was that seesaw slowly started getting up on her side because she was taking that happiness away from you, and she healed herself, got back with her ex, and it didn't go well for her because karma's a bitch.
Oh God, yeah.
And look who's trying to come back, and
I'm pretty
you're
sure
not
she's
both-
in a relationship with him. I don't know. I saw it in her Instagram bio. It's like January 26th or something with a little heart, and she's trying to like follow that. Old habits never change, I guess, if the person's not willing to even work on themselves.
And just to clarify for like your new girl, we're just talking about this because it's a podcast. It's not like there's any
Yeah.
feelings attached or anything.
Yeah, no, don't get the
Yeah.
wrong idea. But
Yeah, but like I've just felt like we needed to clarify that because I know she's like sentimental about stuff like that. So,
And for the people that's been through a rebound relationship, or is either in one or is thinking of one, honestly, all I can tell you, advice right here, is listen to your gut. Because every time, like I talked to her, like, you know, the seesaw thing, when I was in the middle, like equal as her, I felt like something in my gut telling me like, something's off. Because she's always, like, I literally asked her, like, do you still love your ex? And she said yes. And my dumbass was like, oh, okay. And obviously I'm blinded by love. Like everyone's blinded by love at some point, either good or bad.
definitely.
And so I felt in my gut, like my gut feelings telling me like, this is off. And then she sent me screenshots of them talking. And for some reason I didn't see that as a problem. And then as I thought about it more, like we're at an equal plane of the seesaw, in my gut I was like, maybe she don't like fuck with me that much, you know?
Yeah.
And so honestly, just listen to your gut feeling, because your gut feeling is mostly right all the time. At least for me. It might be like
Yeah, everybody's
everyone
different,
has different, yeah. But
one thing is for certain is that if a person is like trying to give you their everything and you just see them as a rebound, leave them alone. Because I know for me, and I know probably for you, I'd rather get ghosted, I'd rather get like left alone completely, like to heal on my own, than stay in a relationship that's gonna last, who knows, like 6 months, 8 months, maybe even a year, maybe even longer, and it'll just be a rebound relationship. Like it's better to just leave that person alone, go heal on your own, or go out with friends, but don't use somebody else to heal. Because if you use somebody else to heal, you're worse than your ex.
yeah, not only that, you're worse than your ex. You only rely on other people. It makes it seem that you only rely on other people for
Yeah,
your
you
healing.
don't love yourself.
And that's what like makes a confident person and a more happy person is once you realize the mistake or whatever happened in your life, once you realize what happened, how it happened, and you look back on it and you try to improve on yourself, then that's what makes you a confident and happy person. And for the like how to know if you're in a rebound relationship, which I know like at least 3 tips on how. Tip number 1 was being like, obviously, if they still love their ex or talk to their ex, that's a guarantee that you're in a rebound relationship. Or if you're just like, or if they just still love their ex. If they love their ex, then leave
And
immediately.
you can tell right away if they still love their ex. If they're still like talking to them, obviously, if they're still talking to them, you shouldn't be anywhere near them. But you can tell they love them by just seeing the way that they talk about them. If they talk about them while you guys are just hanging out or anything, that obviously means that there's still
They
something.
just bring it out of nowhere. It's like, oh, me and my ex went to this place. Kind of like what we talked about earlier.
Yeah, like
Well, that's like the other intention, you know? And tip number 2 is if they fall for you hard, like fast, in the first like week or so, they fall for you hard and fast, like because they still love their ex, right?
Yeah.
And they have all that love and ambition to like find someone else to get rid of that stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And so they just go head over heels in the first week or even days. So.
And I
the
do
one.
know, like, some relationships, like, I know there's some people out there who were a rebound occasionally, but then they found, like, a way to move all the love that they had for their ex into that new person. And I, like, you guys might think that's beautiful, but I still think that shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah, no, because
That, like-
that's the, like love from the ex that transferred to you.
Yeah, because that's still that same love. Like, you gotta build your own love.
It's always in
with
the
that
back
new
of their
person.
head. Like the
Yeah.
ex is always in the back of their head, and I don't think, personally, I don't think that shit's gonna get rid of like the ex in the back of your head. Maybe it will, but the person, or not the person, the feeling for that person is still gonna be there. The person might be dead to you, right? And you're like, no, I don't want to talk to that person ever again. But the feeling is, you know, there. And I don't think
Yeah.
that's ever gonna leave until, you know, I
So,
don't know.
I have a question for you.
Hmm.
So, since you had that ex that was like, I'm gonna just call her pathetic.
Went from D to pathetic. Right. All right, let's go. Mhm.
Well, she could be deep pathetic. Deep pathetic, like. So you had, like, say I was a guy trying to get over a girl. Maybe not for the same reasons. Maybe I wasn't a rebound,
Mhm.
or maybe I was. I don't know. I'll never know. Like, if you could give me advice on how to get over that, because she's dead to you.
Mhm.
You never think about her. It's only you and your girl right now.
Right.
What advice would you give somebody like me to get over that said person that you loved for so long?
Right. All right. So obviously you're gonna be devastated because you fell for her fast, right? You fell hard for her, not fast, but you felt like you really love this person.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's gonna hurt, and like it just matters how long you get over it, like how long you grieve. So for me, it was at least 2 weeks to a month, and honestly, nature helped me a lot because I went camping like while that happened, and I just sat by the lake and did some Instagram post shit like,
Yeah.
oh, look at the lake, it's so beautiful.
But I also have like a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Is that, like, you know how they say go out with friends, have fun, like distract yourself?
That works.
But the thing is, like, I tried that just yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Not yesterday, 2 days ago.
Right.
Like, we had boundaries of no parties, but like I was like with my friends, like my sporty friends,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, you know what? They were like, let's go, and I was like, yeah, let's go. But like, the feeling of like having so many people around you, and like they're just not hurt. Like,
Well, depends. How close are you with your sporty friends? Are you pretty close, or?
one of them's my cousin, and like the other ones I just met like that day.
Yeah, that probably explains a lot. Because if you like, it's like in a room full of strangers, right? Hypothetically, even like your closest friends, your family, like you could still feel alone, and that's okay to feel alone and all that stuff. But it's important to talk about it to someone you actually trust. Like, let's say, like I talked to my mom about it, and she helped me a lot doing that stuff. And she's like, "Oh, you want to go to Castles and Coasters? You want to go get boba, get your mind off of stuff?" Parker, which is my best friend, he helped me through a lot because he knows the fact. He knows, like, he's been in like 20 million relationships, and so he's pretty much a pimp at this point.
Yeah.
And so he's like, let's just hop on the game and not even talk about it, which helped a little bit. It was temporary, right? But until I just got used to the fact about like, having fun is better than dwelling on the fact that shit already passed and how she made me feel. And Parker told me that. He was like, bro, just like he's not good at advice. He's just like, yeah, I feel you, bro. Oh, like I'm here for you.
Yeah.
But like one day he was like, yeah, bro, you just gotta get past through that shit. To be honest, like you can't really dwell on the past and think, oh, I could have done this to make it better. Oh, I could have done this and blah blah blah. You just gotta play Rocket League and let's get the diamond. I'm like, all right, yeah, you know what, you're right. And it's just having those type of friends or family.
The thing that really changes it is having the balls to go out, like what I've seen, and not really what I've been through, but like having the balls to get up for work that day, having the balls to like go out with friends, like when they invite you out, because like there's people who like after a breakup they're like, no bro, like
They just want to
busy,
be
or
with
like
them.
like they just want to sleep all the time.
Yeah, because they're so mentally drained to the fact that they don't want to even get up in the morning. Yeah, and I feel that too.
Because when you're sleeping, it's peace. Like you're not overthinking.
Because you're not even there. You're dreaming or something, or you're just like letting the time pass.
Yeah, and love is special. Like there's no doubt that love is like a beautiful feeling, but there's also toxic love, and then there's just forced love.
Yeah.
And I think those are both on the same level, because if you force yourself to love somebody, that love will never be genuine.
Turning to toxicity. Like,
yeah.
Love has different definitions. It just all depends on how you form it and mold it. It's you and the partner that will define what love is. Because there's some couples that like talk for 24 hours every day and they still love each other a lot. And there's even some couples that don't even talk to each other for a week and they come back and they love each other in like a day or two. It's like, it just depends on what your love language is, or how you feel about the other partner. And obviously there's still going to be insecurities. Insecurities play a big role in love. And the thing with Stacy, right? She was always there for me. Like, how I asked, we were talking about asking for help and stuff. I asked for help with her, and she actually helped me. And the fact that like she reassured me and everything, and then it's just like I knew that girl was special, and I wasn't. Obviously, she's my ex now, but like I'm not gonna let her, like someone as special as her, walk out of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I know, I have a friend. We'll just call him friend.
Right.
And he was with a girl. They were perfect at the beginning, right? Like everything's beautiful, everything's sunshines and rainbows, everything feels perfect as hell. And then there comes a time when they reach an obstacle, the very first obstacle, and that person, the girl, reaches out for help from somebody else. And it wasn't like cheating or anything. It was just like reaching out for help, like so that they could talk to the guy. And after that point, like they made up and everything just felt normal, right?
But that shit's still there.
But the thing is, the guy felt so devalued by what the third person said to him, because it wasn't just a wake-up call. It was more of like you don't mean shit. You're this, you're that, you're pathetic, pretty much. Like pretty much everything a guy doesn't need to hear, he heard in that text. He heard in that statement from that third person, who's not even his girlfriend. His girlfriend didn't have the courage to say it to him. She had to go through a third person to say all that stuff.
Right.
And everything seemed normal, right? But what happened when a little argument started? It became a big argument because that guy had that built up emotion inside of him. Because, like I said, he's not over there telling his mom about it. He's not over there asking for help. It's still in there. There's no way for him to get it out because they hold it in. And it became a bigger argument. So it felt like the argument was never going to stop.
Yeah.
And then the argument stopped. But after that argument stopped, another event happened where a girl made a promise to see the guy after, like, it's long distance. So she made a promise to see the guy when she was closer to him. And the day came where she was closer to him. And he went, and he was so excited to see her, right? Everything felt perfect. Like, oh, I'm finally gonna get to see my girl. He felt like nothing in the world could be a better feeling. But what happened was he went to go see her. He saw her for not even 10 to 15 minutes, which is not enough with your favorite person. It goes by in a snap of a finger.
Right.
And then when he says, oh, okay, so what do you want to do today for the hangout, right? And then she says, oh, I'm hanging out with my friend at 4, which it's like 3:30, 3:45.
That's kind of fucked up.
That guy with that excitement
Gets shot down instantly.
gets shot down.
And all that excitement just disappears. And you feel empty for a minute, right?
Yeah, and he has to act like, oh, it's fine. Like, yeah, you're my girl. Like, it's cool. Like, just seeing you for 15 minutes is all good. Like, don't worry about it.
It's kind of a lose-lose situation, huh? Because if you actually talk about it, it's like, what? I thought we were going to hang out for longer. Then it's like, oh, you don't enjoy my company for at least a little bit? It's like, you know.
Yeah, and like how as the guy do you not feel as a second option to that? Like, any person, not even just guys, any person in their right mind would feel like a second option in that moment, because you already have so much limited time. But to know that you're not even like a priority on their list, like obviously if she's here to see family and stuff like that, like they get first priority. Like as a guy, you gotta step down. Like obviously family's important. Like you should get at least a little bit of time too, because you're gonna be family. But like if she's just ditching you for a friend, like that, how do you not feel as a second option?
Yeah, because you
like,
should be their number one priority, and then vice versa.
Especially if like they just text you, they're like, oh, I'm here, do you want to come see me? And you as a guy, you as a dumbass, you go, you're like, oh yeah, you drop everything just to go see her for those 15 minutes. And then she hits you with the news that, oh, I'm seeing a friend at 4. So pretty much like taking you out, like, oh, you gotta leave before 4. Like, you gotta leave, get the fuck out of here, pretty much. Like, you might as well, as being the girl in this situation, you might as well just say, don't come see me at all. Because I can promise you that in those 15 minutes, nothing happened. Like, nothing was there. Like, it's just pretty much seeing them, like, passing by. Like
at a grocery store or something.
Yeah, like, if you're in love, 15 minutes doesn't feel like shit.
15 minutes is like a minute.
Yeah, 15 minutes is pathetic.
Yeah.
And, the worst part is that it's not even just that feeling. Like, obviously, before you leave your house, you tell your parents, oh, I'm gonna go see my girl, all excited. But what happens when you come back not even 20 minutes later? 20 to 30 minutes later. Yeah. And you have to tell your mom, oh, she got busy, or oh, no, she did see me, but we plan to see each other later.
And that's what hurts, bro. Like, making, like, excuses and defending her about, like, some stupid shit. And it's just, like, it's mentally draining, you know?
And you, like, so that your mom don't think about her as a bad way, like, oh, she's just playing with my son. You say, oh, no, we're seeing each other later. And then when later comes, you just go out, you ask friends to hang out, and, like, what happens if you don't have friends that are occupied that day? Like, you just go and sit in an empty parking lot. That happened to me as well.
Yeah, I literally sat in the Walmart parking lot for at least 30 minutes.
And, like, I've done that. Like, I go get some food, like, and I'm not even, like, I don't even eat the food. Like, I just sit there. Because plans that I told my mom that were gonna happen, they're not happening, but I make her believe that they're still happening, because like I said, I'm never gonna ask for help. I'm never gonna be like, damn, I feel like a second option. Damn, like I was gonna go see her, but she chose somebody else over me. Like, that's never gonna happen. Like, you're never gonna catch me saying that, and that's the problem, because I just went home and said, oh, yeah, well, she got busy, like, I'm just gonna see her later. And what happened was, I go out later, go get some food, just sit in the truck, staring at the fucking parking lot. Yeah. Staring out the window. With the food in the passenger seat, not even eating.
And it makes it worse seeing other couples get out in the car, and they're like holding hands going in the grocery store, and you're like, fuck you.
Yeah, bro, because you give everything to one person, and you would do anything just to see that person.
And they don't keep the same energy.
They just throw it in your face. Like, you don't mean shit.
No, they throw it on the ground, stomp on it, throw a turd at it, and then throw it in the sky as high as they can, and then come crashing down into the core of the earth.
You knew how I was. Like, there'd be times where I would go just for her.
Yeah.
I'd drive just for her. And the sad part is like I would go to see her and that would happen there too. Like obviously most of the time was on her period because like not everything's about intercourse. But like I would go get like a hotel room, like we would hang out like, and then it'd come to like 10 p.m. or something, or it'd come like one of the days was like at 12 p.m. and then she's like, oh, like my stomach, like, and I took her home being a genuine guy. I was like, oh no, I'll take you home, like I'll just head home. And I never once got recognition. Like I'm not asking for recognition, but like never once was it like, oh, you're so sweet, like you prioritize me. And what would have happened if I stayed there? Like that'd be an empty ass hotel room alone by myself, and that did happen. The past time, which is probably like 5 months from now, since it's been such a long time. I went, same thing happened, period. Me being a genuine guy, but it was like 10 or 11 p.m. So obviously I can't drive back. It's the same thing. I told my mom, oh, I'm going to see her. If I show up at like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, she's gonna be like, what happened? She's gonna think that we fought or something. But no, we didn't fight. So I stayed in that hotel room by myself, so far from home, just sitting there like, and I don't know about you, but sometimes I get like anxiety, like, dang, is somebody gonna barge in? Like, is there like a ghost in me? Like, it's just like, that's just how I am. Yeah, that's just how I am. And like, her being there, like, it takes that away. Like, normally I sleep with like the hallway light on, but like when she was with me at my house, like I would just turn all the lights off. Like, like it felt like I had everything. You know what I mean?
Pretty much big babies.
Yeah, big babies. But like, it felt like all your fears went away. Like you felt like you could conquer Mount Everest. Like you could conquer everything in the world. Like they could throw anything at you, but as long as you had that girl by your side, nothing would be impossible.
Right.
And sometimes they just don't get it. They just don't get like that you're a guy and you have feelings. Like I said, like involving that third person that cuts you out. Like she never thought about like, would I like it if he did this to me? Like, like if that happened to her, God knows that she'd be here right now. But she never even apologized. She never even told the third person, hey, stop, you know, like stop, it's getting a little bit too much. Like I told you to just help us out. Like you're just degrading him. Like you're doing everything you can to make him feel like shit.
Yeah.
And then how do you expect the guy to love you after that? Like obviously there's still love, but it's gonna slowly die down after that.
Because that situation could totally happen again, and then she wouldn't even defend you.
And like especially if you've never made it right. You never make it right. You never say, look, like she never once was like, look, I was wrong for it. What can I do to fix it? I know everything she said, but I promise it's not true. The only thing she said is like, oh, I never told her to say that.
What the fuck?
It's stupid, I know.
Yeah.
And like me as a dumbass, perfect again. Perfect in quotations.
Yeah.
And then that second option happens, and then after that, perfect again, second option. All this stuff that she should have been broken up with for. Like, no guy, like, I'm probably the only guy who would put up with that shit. Like, every single guy would have broken up with that girl, would have ghosted her, whatever. She would have been dead to them, right? Because like seeing how she led somebody, like, she just pretty much told the third person to say what she was thinking.
Right. Which
is what hurts the worst, but it's whatever, because like everything happens for a reason, I think.
Really? You think that?
I think everything happens for a reason, and like maybe it was right person, wrong time, because like I understand that like her father was absent, and like that plays a huge role. Like I've always had my dad there, like kudos to him. Like nothing.
We're grateful to even have a mom and a dad, or a house.
Yeah, like my mom, my dad, they've always been there.
Feed
like,
us and
I love them.
Yeah.
And like they'll do anything to make sure that I'm okay.
Right.
And like that's stupid because I have such a big resource. Like
you just kind of assume that she has that too.
Yeah,
you know?
and like
obviously, you're so used to that.
yeah, obviously, like, it's hard to like see from her point of view because like I'm not her, and like that's the point of the relationship, that you gotta become one. But like also taking out every single piece of anger on the guy that loves you, just because you know that he won't leave you because he loves you, is pathetic. And that's what happened. Like, I finally said no. Like, I would ask her, like, do you even want to be with me anymore? And she would say, I don't know. Like, if you wanted to be with me, then it would be an instant, yeah, of course I do. Like, it would never be a question. It would never be an I don't know. It would always be a, yeah, of course I do. Like, why wouldn't I want to be with you? Like, we're just going through a rough patch. Let's fix it. Let's fix this again, like we did the other 2 times where you should have broken up with me and left me forever.
Yeah.
But no, that's not how it was.
Yeah. You know what me and Stacy used to say whenever we got in an argument? We'd always say we need a lot of wood for our boat because the river's gonna be fucking, you know, riptides and shit. It's gonna be rough, so we need a lot of wood for our boat. That's what we used to say.
That's insane.
And then, you know, just like we kept, I guess the forest got deforested. There was no more trees, I guess. So, and then right now we just need to regrow those trees. It's starting to sound cringe, but it's like an Instagram post.
It's like, it's good. Like, I get what you mean.
Yeah, plant like, those saplings or whatever.
But those saplings take time to grow.
Exactly.
And like
that's what I'm doing right now. It's just like, I'm gonna be single for quite a while, I think. Like, you know what I realized is that the only priority that matters to me is me, right? As selfish as that may be, like I need to take care of myself because who else is gonna take care of me the way I do? No one. And I need to take. That's why I'm going to the gym 6 days a week. You know, eating healthy, trying to like find the motivation. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to find the motivation to do stuff, like find a job, do YouTube, you know. And I think I need to fix myself because, like you said, the third person in relationship, that could also be yourself, like your mind. Because there's you, your girlfriend, and then your overthinking self, you know?
Yeah, that's a really big issue I have.
Yeah, I think that everyone has overthinking issues. Some like worse than others.
You could just be feeling right, and then she'll say, "Oh, I'm going to Walmart." Like, "Oh, damn, my guy's looking at her." Like, what if she's getting hit on? Like, and like that's not even like I got that. Like, that's genetic. Like, that's how my dad was, and like he found ways to do it. But like, I could easily go ask him for help and be like, "How did you like get through it?" But like the thing is, like I said, you won't ever catch me asking for help.
Right.
I won't ever ask for help. Even if I had a therapist sitting in front of me, I probably wouldn't even tell him this much. That's the problem with me. Like, I don't know if it's pride, I don't know what it is, but I've never asked for help.
I think it is pride, to be honest. It might be getting in the way of you actually trying to heal or something. But, you know, it's good to ask for help sometimes. But not all the time, because that'll make you seem needy and stuff. Which I'm pretty sure you're scared of being needy, right?
I don't even know what it is, bro. But like, I've never asked for help. Obviously, it's different when you ask for help emotionally than if you ask for help. Like, oh, can you go take my truck to the mechanic and stuff?
Yeah.
Like, it's different. It's
on a
like,
deeper level.
Yeah, it's on a deeper level. Like, there's differences. But like, you won't ever catch me asking for help.
Right. And that takes time for you to actually start to asking for help. That's what I'm trying to do. Like, I asked my mom for help, and she did a good job helping me with the whole deep pathetic situation, and especially this situation with Stacy. She's definitely taken my mind off of that stuff and told me some valuable stuff that I need to do.
Because like that's their job. Like, their parents, they're here to support you and raise you. And like, I know for a fact, like, when your parents were dating or something, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna name him this. Like, if he ever comes to us for this, we're gonna help him." Like, and like my parents just have that sitting in a book in the back of their mind, probably because they were probably thinking like, "Oh, when he has his first heartbreak, we're gonna help him like this." And like, what's the matter? Like, I've never gone for them. I've never gone to get help from them, which is the bad part, because they have all this knowledge, all these books, all these like in the back of their mind for just me.
Right.
Just me, just me as their son, just me as their everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm never gonna use it just because of the pride, just because of whatever it is. It's
Yeah.
never gonna be used just because of that.
Mm-hmm. And it's hard to not have anyone, actually, because there's some people that don't even have family. It's just them. And for the people that don't have anyone, I would recommend trying to find someone. I don't know if that's going to be a therapist, old kung fu master or something. Like,
Even your dog.
yeah,
Like your dog could be your therapist. Like I know they don't talk back, but just sitting there petting your dog and talking to him, like obviously they listen,
mm,
but just talking to somebody helps. Cause take it from somebody who like never talks to anybody, who never will express their emotions, who will never say that they're sad. It's a shitty feeling, and it just eats you up inside. And it feels like I'm slowly decaying, but like I know that my time's gonna come. Like time's gonna come for everybody sooner or later, and that's just what it is, and that's just what it will be.
And you don't even need like an actual person to express your feelings. Like music, you could, even this podcast right now, we're literally venting to a microphone right now. There's not even a camera rolling. We're literally talking to a blue Yeti right now, talking about our problems. And you could literally do anything, just like find your like passion or discover new hobbies like music. That's like a huge thing, especially for me, because when I was going through a bunch of shit, I just like wrote down on the notepad, like, you know, shit I was feeling, and then looked up on Rhymebook online and just started making lyrics.
Do you have any new music?
No, not yet.
No sneak peeks on the podcast?
No, not yet. Soon though.
No.
What about you? Exception.
No, man, like it's hard to find motivation to write music. It's like, it's not pity or anything. It's just like,
No, I feel you.
damn,
It's
like
like a-
writer's block, but like not.
It's very hard to describe.
Yeah.
Because I'm literally the same way with YouTube. Like I'm like writing like ideas down, like skits and stuff. I'm like, oh, this would be such a banger idea. This would be such a good video. But
And
then
then-
when it's time to
yeah.
like do it, I don't know what's wrong with me. I just don't or can't do it for some reason. I don't know why. I think it's like the lack of motivation and self-discipline, I guess. And I guess going to the gym is helping me with that. Because like every time I go to the gym after, I feel really good and stuff. So maybe that's the part of the self-discipline thing.
No, it's definitely having resources, not even people, just like music and stuff, is definitely
Mhm.
like special. Because like I don't go to anybody, but like music, like you said, it helped me too.
Right.
And like I have songs that are unreleased that just sit there. And like I have songs in my old phone, like when I was like 14, like my old phone won't ever turn on, so like those are probably just dead forever. But like, yeah, but like it's just songs that like I felt at that moment. Like most of them were freestyles. Like it was just like when you're going through a ton of emotions, like freestyles come easy.
Mhm.
And I also want to get on a different topic of love.
Right.
Is I want to talk about cheating.
Mm.
I want to talk about a story that I heard about this weekend.
What's up?
So there's a guy. We're just gonna call them guy and girl.
Anger.
Okay. So the guy, right?
Right.
He goes to a college party life, all that stuff.
Mhm.
He's a basketball player. And anybody who knows who I'm probably talking about, please don't try to depict it. Don't like say that you know who it is, because this is like personal to him.
Mhm.
So
You sure you want to share this then?
no, I'm sure I want to share it.
Okay. Have full consent from the host.
So he goes to a party, right?
Mhm.
And of course he's drinking, but he has a girlfriend. He's drinking and stuff, and she's okay with him going to the parties.
Mm.
He's drinking. He gets shit-faced.
Right.
Not super shit-faced because he's not a lightweight, but he gets like to the point where like, damn, bro, I'm dizzy. Like, oh fuck,
Mhm.
oh like the road's moving. But he's with his group of friends. There's a designated driver, so it's not like he's driving drunk.
Mhm.
But he gets offered something from someone, and it ends up being laced with something. and he ends up doing something really stupid, cheating with a girl. And I talked to the guy, and he has no attachment to that girl whatsoever. He regrets even going to that party. He regrets everything because him and his girl broke up because of that fact. Like, and if I was the girl, I'd break up with him too.
Yeah, that's understandable.
But the guy feels like shit, you know? Like, the guy doesn't feel like a man. Like, he feels like stupid. He feels dumb as fuck. He feels like nothing, pretty much.
Yeah.
And like, obviously he doesn't expect that girl to come back to him. But the thing that I want to tell the girl is, like, if that happened to her, like, if, like, they're okay with parties. If that happened to her and she went to a party, and like, at that point, it's almost like rape. Maybe there was consent, but like, he's drunk and he doesn't know what he's doing.
He's also drugged as well.
Yeah, drugged. And like, if that were to happen to her, would she want him to give her a second chance? Would she want him to help her through that? Because he's hurting right now. He won't act like he's hurting because of a thing. Like I told you, we won't ever ask for help. He's hurting, and I can tell that he's hurting. And it took me a lot to get him out of it, like to get him to tell me.
Right.
And he's hurting because he knows that, like, it was wrong of him. It was, of course it was wrong. Like, and I told him, I was like, either you guys need to give up parties completely, or you guys go together. Because this stuff, like going alone and stuff, if you really see yourself with that girl forever, then there shouldn't be no, oh, I'm going to this party alone. I'm going, like,
yeah.
For me, I don't even think there should be parties. It should just be you guys.
Yeah, just chilling at home,
like,
watching Netflix.
Just stay in. But I get it, they're in college. They want to have fun. But if you see that person with you forever,
you wouldn't even take the chance.
Yeah, stay home, stay there. Don't risk.
I'm sure he had a self-conscious saying, like, no, I don't know if I should go to this party or not, you know?
Yeah.
There's always that self-conscious.
He definitely regrets it. And what I want to tell the girl, who probably won't listen to this podcast,
sure,
but it's just like, seeing the look on, like, I'm not justifying cheating at all. Like, if that happened to me, like, I would be fucking hard to trust again. Like, even if they got raped, like, I would help them through it.
Yeah.
Like, a part of me would want to help them through it, but a part of me would be like, what the fuck? Like, this could have been avoided, like, not going to the party. But what I want to tell the girl is, like, if you love that guy, and if you see yourself with him, then you need to set the boundaries, you need to set everything, and you need to go and figure out why he did it. You need to talk to him face to face, not over text. You need to talk to him and figure out what the intentions were, what everything was. And because I know right now, from what he told me, he didn't do it to hurt you. He barely even knew he was doing it. But the courage that he took to tell you that it happened, because he could have just kept it locked away and you probably would have never found out. But he told you. And I know that that took some balls, because he knew that that wasn't him in his right mental state. And he decided to tell you about it. He decided to inform you about what happened because he felt guilty and because he was a good guy.
Right.
And he is a good guy. And he knew that he fucked up. And like he told me, he's like, I probably won't ever get her back again. And he's coming to senses with it because he knows that he fucked up. But he said, this is the girl that I want. This is the only girl for me. And he fucked it up. And he knows that. And he knows that she deserves better. He told me, he's like, she deserves better. And he hopes that they'll fix it. He hopes that it'll be the same. Which most likely won't happen. Like, I'm sorry to shatter his hopes.
There's a good chance it might not happen.
No, it might happen. Who knows? It might happen. Because like that...
It just depends on how you play the cards right.
Yeah, that could happen to anybody. Like, you're drunk already, and you won't say no. Like, and then you get laced.
Right.
Of course, something's gonna happen.
And maybe once you tell her that, then she's not gonna be like, maybe she won't forgive you, or maybe she will forgive you at the beginning. But then she would always have that thought of like, oh, maybe he was actually like drugged or something, and maybe I could forgive him for it, you know?
Yeah.
I think the best thing right now for that situation is just let it be for a little bit. Let each other heal for at least a month or so with no contact, no stalking on social media or anything. It's called the no contact rule. It's pretty much where you just don't even talk to her or look at her social media, delete all her photos, delete her contact. That's optional, but like if you think that's going to help you, then you could delete her Snapchat, Instagram, phone number. That's like no contact rule, and you do it for 30 days or even more. It depends on how long it takes you to heal and for yourself to come at peace with the fact that you did that or whatever happened. Then you have a clear mind of what to say to her. You don't go back saying, oh, I miss you so much, I know I did this and I regret it so much. That's gonna come off as like you've been thinking about that for like a long time and you come off as needy. I think the best thing right now is just to, let it be, find yourself again, and become a better man. And for the girl, just do the same thing as well.
Just if you're the girl, just try to think about it. The guy that you know, would he have done that? Just think about it like this: would he have done that if he was sober? And like, that's no excuse, but like, think about it. What would he have done if he was sober? It's like, you knowing the guy, I know that you probably know that he wouldn't have done that. But also, you got to take into account, like some people say drunk thoughts are sober thoughts. But also off of lace and being drunk, there's definitely some stuff you got to take into account.
Yeah.
There's definitely
different circumstances.
Yeah. You got to think about the guy the way that you see him and see if he would ever do anything to hurt you. And if he would, then don't give him a chance.
There's definitely more good than bad, depending on how bad the bad is. Then I would definitely reconsider, thinking about even getting back with him.
You just gotta think about it. Think for yourself. Don't let anybody else think for you. And like, I know that people have a problem with it, like just thinking for themselves. They always need that third person, which ruins the relationship. And like, sorry to go back onto me, but like, honestly, I feel like we could be okay again. Like me and my ex.
Yeah.
I feel like we could be okay again, but I just don't see myself going through that again.
Yeah, not yet at least.
Yeah. Like maybe with time, I'll see like, oh no, like life is shit without her. Like she's my soulmate. Wrong person. I mean, right person, wrong time. Sorry, bro. But yeah. No, like maybe with time, I'll see like she's all what I need. But like,
right.
Cause like I texted her, I was like, "Are you okay?" And then she's like, "I need to be alone."
Okay.
And that hurts.
Yeah.
That hurts to hear, but
you gotta respect it.
I just cut her off, leave her alone, and maybe never talk to her again.
Depends. We don't know the future, and that's for not just for like you. That's for like anyone in your shoes as well, and anyone in the cheating story. Maybe that exact same thing, or even along the lines of that happens. I would really, take in consideration what we're trying to say, and maybe get a concept of something, I don't know, but just not just for those people, it's literally for everyone that's even listening to this podcast right now.
At the end of the day, your self-worth is going to reflect on everyone around you, and you gotta love yourself before you love anybody else.
Exactly.
And I think that's where we're gonna leave it off.
Yep.
Yes. It was a good first podcast.
Yep, I would say. Yep. That show was mint. Emotional.
It was emotional. Hopefully in the next few podcasts we can uplift a little more different topics, and we'll see you in the next one.